You're a bright man. Does that make the cost of home ownership go up when you increase demand that much?
I think that's a distributional question.
You don't want to. You don't want to admit it, do you? With all due
Housing
respect, I think
supply.
you're being disingenuous.
Hey everyone, today we're diving into one of the most heated Senate hearings in recent memory. Senator Kennedy goes head-to-head with a witness who tries to play smart with some seriously dodgy answers. If you're passionate about the cost of living and what really affects your wallet, you'll want to stick around for this one. So, Senator Kennedy kicks things off by asking a pretty simple question. If the price of electricity goes up, does that make a house more expensive? You'd think the answer is obvious, right? Well, not for Mr. Williams, the witness. He fumbles and says, not in a direct sense, but it's an input to a lot of things. Kennedy isn't having it. He cuts to the chase. It makes homeownership more expensive, doesn't it? And finally, Williams admits, sure, yes. Next, Kennedy asks, if property taxes go up, does that make homeownership more expensive? Again, a pretty straightforward question. Williams, looking cornered, finally says, sure it does. Well, there you go, more taxes, more expenses. Now here's where things really heat up. Kennedy shifts the conversation to a topic that makes a lot of people uncomfortable: immigration. He asks, whether you agree with it or not, if you admit 10 to 12 million illegal foreign nationals into the country, does that make the cost of homeownership go up? Williams starts dodging, saying, I think that's a distributional question. Kennedy is relentless, though. He pushes back, saying, doesn't that increase demand for housing and make the cost go up? And again, Williams tries to wriggle his way out, repeating, that's a distributional question. But Kennedy doesn't let him off the hook, calling out the fact that increasing demand inevitably drives prices up.
Mr. Williams, if the price of electricity goes up, does that make a house more expensive?
Not in a direct sense, but I mean, electricity is an input to a lot of things, both on the construction side.
It makes home ownership more expensive.
Sure, yes. And
all right, if property taxes go up, does that make home ownership more expensive?
Sure does.
Whether you agree with it or not, if you admit 10 to 12 foreign nationals illegal into your country, all of whom need housing, does that make the cost of home ownership go up?
You know, I think that all of these questions and all of these inputs to housing costs.
What about first about illegal immigration? Does that increase demand for housing and make the cost of home ownership go up?
I think that's a distributional question. I think the question we're here to talk about today
but does it make the cost of home ownership go up?
We're here to talk about housing supply today.
We're here to talk about home ownership and the cost of owning a home. You're a bright man. Does that make the cost of home ownership go up when you increase demand that much?
I think that's a distributional question.
You don't want to admit it, do you?
I think that's a distributional question, and the problem that we're facing
with
is
all due
housing
respect,
supply.
I think you're being disingenuous. Let me ask you, Mr. Pinto, if you increase immigration by 11 million people, does that increase the cost of home ownership?
Senator, yes. We've tried to figure out what that impact is.
I mean, duh.
Yeah, but
Williams keeps trying to redirect the conversation to talk about housing supply instead. While housing supply is crucial, we can't ignore the very real costs hitting homeowners right now. Kennedy's point is spot on. If everything related to owning a home gets more expensive, the dream of homeownership becomes harder for regular Americans. So what do you all think? Senator Kennedy didn't hold back, and Williams really struggled to give straight answers. The fact is, all these little factors add up to make homeownership more costly for everyone. If you want to keep up with more no-nonsense breakdowns of the latest political happenings, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.